Madam President, I rise today to speak to the integrity of the character and the career of Andy Oldham, the President's nominee to be a circuit judge to the United States Court of Appeals for the Fifth Circuit. Andy represents the best of what Texas's legal community has to offer to our federal courts. Andy Oldham was born to high school sweethearts. His parents, like his grandparents before them, knew struggles and knew hard work. Andy's father was raised in a trailer with 4 other siblings, and his father, Andy's grandfather, spent years away from his family, first fighting in World War II and then in Korea. His mother was raised by her divorced mother, and Andy's mother helped manage the household starting at age 8. Growing up in these humble beginnings taught both of Andy's parents the value of hard work. His father drove a cement truck and cleaned deep fryers in restaurants to pay his way through college. And his mother was one of the first women to attend the University of Virginia. Together, both enrolled in the Medical College of Virginia, where his father became a doctor and his mother became a dentist. Andy's parents had enormous student debts to pay, and so Andy learned what it was like to grow up with little as well. But he likewise learned the value of an education from his parents. Andy went to the University of Virginia on a full academic scholarship, graduating with a perfect 4.0 GPA and at the top of his class. He then became a Truman Scholar and went on to attend the Harvard Law School. And Andy graduated from Harvard Law magna cum laude, clerked for Judge David Santel on the D.C. Circuit, one of the most respected federal appellate judges in the country, and then clerked for Justice Samuel Alito on the Supreme Court of the United States. He then worked as an attorney advisor for 2 years in the Office of Legal Counsel in the United States Department of Justice in the George W. Bush administration. Andy then went into private practice at Kellogg Hanson here in Washington, D.C. From there, Andy went to the Texas Solicitor General's office to serve as the Deputy Solicitor General of Texas. I can tell you that office is usually a pretty tight ship. After that, he joined Governor Abbott to serve as his legal counsel. He's now the general counsel for the governor, and he's spent all but 3 years of his career in public service. Mr. President, may I say it shows a depth of character, Madam President, and a devotion to his country that Andy would stay in public service for so long, so dutifully, while foregoing the great rewards that come with private practice. He is devoted to the practice of law. And over the years, Andy has displayed a keen understanding of the Constitution, how it applies and guides us to this very day. I'm confident that Andy will not substitute his own policy preferences, his own opinions, for the rule of law. But he will instead serve the people of Texas and the American people by respecting the law as written in the Constitution and as written in federal law passed by this Congress and signed by the President. Our courts, our country, are well served by judges with this dedication, with wisdom and forbearance. In his career, Andy has argued across the country in state and federal courts. He has appeared and argued numerous times before the Fifth Circuit, and he's argued twice before the United States Supreme Court. He has earned widespread praise from both Democrats and Republicans, and he was recommended to the Judiciary Committee by esteemed legal voices from both the left and the right. Andy is respected across the political spectrum. And I know my colleagues in the Senate will return the same respect when they vote today to confirm Andy Oldham as a circuit judge to the United States Court of Appeals for the Fifth Circuit. Andy will be the 5th judge we have confirmed to the Fifth Circuit, one of the finest courts in the country, a court that I've been privileged to argue before many, many times. Andy will be the 3rd Texan and the 5th Fifth Circuit judge in the last year and a half, and that, I think, is one of the greatest legacies of President Trump and this Republican Senate, are the principled constitutionalists who we are confirming to the federal court, judges who will be faithful to the Constitution and Bill of Rights, who will stand steadfastly to protect our fundamental liberties, to protect free speech and religious liberty, to protect the Second Amendment, the right to keep and bear arms, to protect the 10th Amendment, the fundamental liberties of the people against ever-expanding federal power. This is a legacy that was front and center as to why the American people elected this majority, and it's a legacy that will benefit Texans and Americans for generations to come. Madam Speaker, I yield the floor, and I suggest the absence of a quorum.